Where is for someone here? It's kind of dark, huh? For Andrew, huh?
In
Yes.
Wales,
Where are you, Andrew? Are you?
Oh,
they
I
don't
could
have
switch the
electricity.
light on.
They don't have electricity in Wales.
I thought you were near us, Australia, Vietnam, or China. No.
Oh no, nothing so exotic. I live in
Okay.
Wales.
Which part of Wales, Andrew?
I live in mid Wales, just across the border. So
Okay.
Radnorshire, if you know it, which is sort of been subsumed into a Powys County Council, but the area is Radnorshire, and I live in New Radnor, which is the ancient capital.
Which is exotic in its own way.
Well, it is. I mean, yes, it's a very old medieval. It's been a village since medieval times, and we've got our little castle mound, and there's lots of areas of conservation where you can't even put a tent because you can't dig down because there's lots of treasure. I think probably medieval treasure around, which you're not allowed to dig for.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
So we'll never find out what's there underground.
Well, but today I have been digging, and I did find a very nice little bottle, very heavy glass bottle, which is it had I think it was called Viola, and my wife looked it up on the internet, and this was a predecessor of Bovril, which if you're from the UK, you might know. You make drinks. It's like a meaty. I don't know. It's like, you know, Marmite. Does anybody know Marmite?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so it's like Marmite, but this is like and this bottle probably is from the 1940s, and I found it completely intact, buried underneath a holly tree.
Oh, wow.
that's
Why
very
did you
cool.
dig today?
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I shall go and get it when I get a moment. I'll go and get it and show it.
Stephanie, where are you?
I'm in York, in the UK.
UK
Are you
also.
on lockdown?
Yeah.
Oh, you're on lockdown there. Yeah,
Again,
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Who else is on lockdown? I'm on lockdown.
No,
I'm not.
we're not.
No.
It's fine here.
Yeah.
Carmen, where are you?
Spain, east of Spain.
And you're not on lockdown?
Not really, no. It depends on the towns, and it's more of a regional level. So, but not as a nation, not nationally, no.
Yeah, ours is also regional, but basically it's the whole of Portugal. We're so tiny, it's the whole thing.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay,
when you say east, Carmen, do you mean near the Pyrenees, or is that?
No, that would be north for me. It's
Barcelona.
a little bit south than that. In Valencia, in the Valencian community. Yeah.
Beautiful city, Valencia.
Yeah, really nice, actually. Yeah.
I was due to go and spend a week there to do Delta assessments when the lockdown started. I was so upset.
Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice city.
So we don't want to keep you.
Where are you now?
Sorry?
Where are you now?
I'm in Jeddah now. It's a city in Saudi called Jeddah. I'm there now.
And are you? You said you are in lockdown or not?
No, we're not. Yeah, we used to, of course, like everybody.
Yeah.
But not now. Yeah.
So and
we hope
Alan?
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm in China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, ni hao.
Yeah, I'm from Taiwan, but I'm working in China now.
Ah.
Gareth is in Australia, I think.
Yeah, I'm in Sydney.
Oh, okay.
So it's 10 past 3 a.m. for me.
Oh my
God.
Good morning, everybody.
Impressive.
We have to wake up for you.
Get up so early?
10 past 3 a.m.
Get up early in Australia. It's our way.
What about Vincent?
Right.
Where are you?
It's 11 p.m. here.
And you are where?
I'm in Vietnam.
Oh, nice.
Between Vietnam and Cambodia.
Okay.
So right now I'm on the Cambodian side.
When you cross the room, you are in Vietnam.
I alternate between the two. Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't want to keep you for too long, but we thought that because nobody sent questions, Alan had promised to send me somebody then.
Sorry, I was sleepy.
That's okay. That's okay. So we thought that each of us would sort of touch on a little subject and then see where it goes, and you can ask us some questions. So, Andy, do you want to start off?
Yeah, well, okay, so this is an appeal as much as anything. I think for certainly my experience of Module 2, the only I think I commented on it in the module, but I just wanted to reiterate it because it came up in some of the the portfolio tasks, that we need to be clear whether we're talking about pre-service or in-service teacher training. So can I ask really for a little show of hands, if your context is teaching newly qualified teachers, is that what you're doing at the moment? Is that what you're being asked to do? Like you're a senior? No?
No.
Okay.
More
so
like
are you
experienced
hoping
teachers?
to become teacher trainers then?
Yeah,
As in
that's what I
on
want.
courses like the Trinity or the CELTA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. So okay. So that should be fine. Okay. So then just to be clear then, so we talk about trainees. We only really use the word trainees if we're talking about people with no teaching experience.
Okay.
Even if you have a teacher, someone who has got a lot of experience, but they never got a qualification, which is quite common, for example, in places like Saudi Arabia, because I think that you had some government change the law and said, right, any teacher here has to have the CELTA. So there was all these teachers that suddenly needed to get the qualifications, who had lots and lots of experience. And I remember training some of them up, but even still on a course, they are referred to as trainees. Otherwise, we just talk about in-service training. And the reason that I want to make this clear is because I think this course, and maybe I'll look to Paula and Olga to correct me if they think I'm wrong, but I think this course is really oriented towards getting you ready for pre-service teacher training.
Good.
And although everything is useful for in-service training, we don't tend to talk about courses for that. You know what I mean? They're just ongoing
Sessions.
development. Yeah, you might have some sessions, some professional development sessions, and you might do observations, but mostly it's not really in a form of a course.
Although,
That's all right.
so maybe one distinction you can make, I don't know if the others agree, is that we could talk about participants if they're not trainee teachers. So you might be a DOS, so you're observing teachers, or you might be running a session or a series of sessions for either your teachers or other teachers, and you might refer to them as participants rather than trainees. Does that make sense, Andy?
Yeah.
I just think as long as whatever we're saying that if people are moving out that, but yeah, everybody here is obviously is talking about becoming pre-service course teacher training. So I think that's probably fine. If we're talking about a pre-service course, then we need to state that explicitly.
Yeah, make it explicit in your portfolio tasks and whatever you're referring to. Yeah.
All right, that's all. I'm gonna mute myself now then.
So if we go in order, so Andy was talking about module 2, then Olga wants to talk about module 3, and I'll talk about module 4.
Yeah. So thank you very much for submitting your tasks. I got quite a few of them, but you still have time if you haven't submitted yet for module 3. And I haven't checked the tasks yet, so it's my assignment for the next week. But thank you very much for the discussions, and I really enjoyed your comments. It was very, very interesting, different insights. We talked about, if you remember, we talked about what trainees or participants anticipate, what they expect from training sessions. And we also talked about some distractors or maybe difficulties. I remember Vincent's comment at the end of this thread. You were saying, to me, it's all normal. So all these distractors are kind of kind of know.
Yes. In Cambodia, Vietnam, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And of course we get used to that, and we the more experience we get, the more experience we have, the better we become at preventing some of the distractions, because some of them can be prevented, or dealing with them in the session. We didn't talk too much about online sessions, though, although there were a couple of comments about online. I just wanted to find out whether you have had any experience as a maybe teacher trainer or as a participant in online sessions. What is your experience? Yes, no?
As a teacher, yes, plenty,
teacher,
but not as a trainer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a recently I did one. I gave one to teachers on the use of role plays. Yeah, I had an assistant actually who assisted me to prepare this. We spent quite a good time to prepare for it, to rehearse and so on. And then we had it. It was over 2 sessions. Yeah. Between the sessions, there was an activity for the participants to do. It means they have to prepare a role play themselves and then share it with us and tell us how it went and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, very, very useful, and actually that's one session, within a bigger program that we're preparing. We want to touch on almost everything, from speaking to writing, all the skills, if you like.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But the only mistake we made, we kept it. It was long. It was 3 hours each session, and some of the participants had to leave. That was a big mistake. Yeah. And now we the next ones we're going to make them maximum 1 hour, 3 sessions.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Because
so
really, timing is one of the differences.
It is. Actually, you learn by doing. That's what I say.
Yeah.
So that's.
Great. I remember you talked about that in the forum, and that was a very interesting experience. Absolutely. Anybody else? Maybe you can share.
Yeah, I did a self-S training because I did it online with 20 trainees, and I was using the organizer's platform, not Zoom or other meeting software. So that platform wasn't stable. So some people came in, left, and they came in and then left. So that was kind of problem. And another thing is, actually, I found it quite difficult to deliver input session online. I mean, just by showing some slides, I didn't think that was enough for trainees to actually learn things. Right. That was a thing. I mean, I still prefer face-to-face, but given the situation now, it's not really possible to do like a face-to-face training with a group of more than 30 teachers. So that was a kind of difficult for me. It was my first time doing training on the internet.
I think the first time is always the most difficult one.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. There's so many things that you can't even imagine.
Yeah, because Cambridge didn't allow it like in the beginning of this year. They said they have to some face-to-face input have to be done like a face-to-face, but they changed their policy not long ago. So
fully online.
Yeah, so they could for observations, they could submit videos as well now, not just the face-to-face observation.
Yeah. I think everybody has to change something in their course delivery, like all the schools, all the centers, and bigger bodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have a module. It's module 11, focusing on online training. But I was just thinking, maybe since we are in such a such an interesting situation now, we can comment a little bit in other modules on how we do it online or how it's different or whatever, because this is our reality now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I was expecting this course that we're doing now to have some, you know, some webinars and some online sessions like these where we could, for example, have Paula or Olga or, you know, give us like, you know, like a role model, right? How to give an online course, and we discuss it, we reflect, and we learn from it. So that was an expectation. But then when I looked at the course, there was only communication through writing to one another, right? I wasn't really satisfied at the beginning. I was expecting something, but now I can see how the course is progressing. I can, you know, I can see the structure, and I'm very happy with it. But
yeah, we can learn. Yeah.
And we are going to make use of some webinars for you to reflect. And in fact, Andy will help you.
Actually, there's one for module 5.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Andy's going to help you with that.
Yeah.
And there will be later on, there'll be other modules that will refer to webinars.
Yeah.
Abdulaziz, have you video?
I tried, but I think it asked for some program to be downloaded, so I couldn't get to it yet. It's there, but I still couldn't get to it. I didn't see the webinar yet.
Okay, so just yeah, we have had problems with that webinar video in the past, which we resolved, and I have to go through the same steps and try to resolve it again with British Council, who are the owners of the video. So I'm going to get onto it, but if you can't see it now, I think you'll need to download Adobe Connect, and then if you can, you know, that will give you a trial period, which it says that on the instructions anyway. But yeah, I'm having a few problems with it myself, but I am on the case, and we'll try to resolve it. Monday is realistic.
Great.
Okay. Anybody else to say something about it, or shall we move on to?
I've got a quick example of some that I did. We did a couple of standalone sessions with one of our partner universities, and so that's students that are studying for an education degree. And I actually did a session on dogma, however you pronounce it, and CLIL, which was quite interesting because you're trying to demonstrate something, but I actually made use of videos to do that because it was quite hard for me to do because I didn't have any students to demonstrate with. But yeah, interesting thing about online teaching, one of the students wasn't participating at all, and I found out later she was actually sitting an exam at the same time, but had logged in so she could say she participated, but she wasn't.
Wow. That was quite a feature of my online teaching. We had one particular student, a young man who was working in a family restaurant and working a lot too hard. And just about halfway through the session, we'd all hear everybody be shouting, "Daniel, Daniel, wake up!"
Yeah. No, I enjoyed some, you know, anecdotes that you that you shared about different participants and different behaviors in input sessions. I think we can have a collection of those by the end of the course. Okay, thank you guys. Really enjoy working with you. Okay, so
okay,
Paula now.
So I've really been enjoying Module 4 because so many things have encouraged me to think more about each of the tasks. How are you finding Module 4? I mean, we finished it now, but have you enjoyed it? Anything?
Sure, my last posts were today.
Yeah, I read a couple of your posts. Yeah. You always write things with an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I sent today. I reviewed, reread, and sent more today.
Good.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone wants to comment? Carmen, you also posted today.
Yeah, I posted today. It's been a hard week. So no, I've just liked the different types of observation that we've been looking at, because I did not know we could go so in depth you know, in this topic. So I am enjoying a lot the observation types, and just maybe putting a name to all those things you observe, you know, and you know, but just putting in a name is great, you know, and I'm really enjoying that.
I enjoyed.
And also, sorry to
go.
Yeah. No, sorry to bring this back, but about Olga's question, the online courses. Well, you'll see, Olga, that my task number 3 is about an online course, actually, with my EMI teachers. And I was quite reluctant at the beginning because, you know, so a course with an interaction like that, you need a lot of participation, interaction, feedback, observation, and everything. I was quite reluctant at the beginning. But it, you know, it was quite okay, and people participated, and you know, you just find a way, you know, instead of you use videos and you use just all the stuff, but it worked really well. Yeah. Sorry, Olga. Paul, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine.
I'm glad that you made this comment. Thank you.
I was just going to say that there was a very interesting thread today about whether doing the whole cycle of pre-observation, the discussion, looking at the teacher's plan, talking about it, and then watching the lesson, and then giving feedback after reflection, whether this was too much work. I don't know if you followed that, but I thought that was a really interesting one. And I've commented in quite a lot of detail. I apologize, but I just thought, oh, this is the sort of thing I like talking about. So I have made lots of comments. But I wanted to show you the task. So Olga, I should be able to share my screen, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. So this is the task for module 4, where we ask you to talk about how you would organize an observation on a pre-service training course. So this would be like a CELTA course. So you'll be able to use your experience, if you have taken the CELTA, of the sort of things that happen. So what does the tutor give the trainees? Is it teaching practice points? What are the, you know, how often do they have to observe? So think about your own experience of CELTA for all the pre-service bits. So pre-observation meetings, this is where, for example, the trainee brings their ideas and they discuss it with the tutor and their peers. And then the post-observation stuff. Now, the second one is the teacher of young learners teaching a developmental lesson. So this would be somebody who's working for you on the staff and is perhaps being guided through a young learner. So they're new to young learners and they're being observed 2 or 3 times during the year on the young learners. And these are the very kind of interactive observations where there's a lot of discussion of the lesson and what, giving the trainee lots of, the teacher, lots of space to express what they would like to do in the lesson. And the final one is that, this has been mentioned a few times in the threads, this is when you're being observed by somebody who comes in to do an inspection. So there is very little interaction between the actual teacher and the visitor. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because on past courses, people have struggled a little bit with the distinction between these 3 types of teachers. And also organizing the observations is, you as an observer, what are you going to have to organize here? What are you going to have to organize? The pre-observation meetings is, what are you going to do? And it's interesting here with the experienced teacher, you should see yourself as the director of studies. What are you going to organize here? And then the post-observation, what happens afterwards, after the lesson? For example, in this third one, then you as the director of studies will probably get the information and then you'll give it back to the staff, but the teacher will probably not get any personalized feedback. Any questions?
No, thank you for
Okay.
this.
You'll be able to come back to this and read through this bit here really carefully in helping you prepare for this, because we've tried to make it as clear as possible. Okay, that was really my bit that I wanted to highlight. So we've got a few minutes. So is there anything that we can help you with that you would like to ask us or ask each other? Vincent.
So will there be more Zoom live discussions, or is it really only one today?
It's really up to you if you think this is useful. And on Andy, last time we did 1 or 2, I can't remember.
We have, I think the last couple of courses we just did a Zoom meeting really because of the lockdown, and we just kind of felt that it would be nice to humanize the course a little bit. So this isn't really part of the course generally. We just thought, well, actually Paula thought it would be a really nice thing to do, and you know, we all agreed, and so we've started doing it. So yeah, I think the last couple we just did one though, right, to say hi.
There was one time that Andy, you know, the 3 trainers met, and we just talked at each other, and we just went on and on and on and on, and we were just talking about training, but then we found that the trainees thought this was a bit much, just us prattling on about our training. But it was very interesting for us because we were comparing our experiences, and we were so different, and we'd had, even as CELTA trainers, sometimes we disagreed about certain key things. Intervening was one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think the idea was that we would talk, I guess, about things that had come up in a module that we felt was, you know, it would be beneficial to explore a bit more. But yeah, we weren't very good at being succinct. So, and when it was my turn to edit all the videos, it was just too much work, to be honest with you. So it's, yeah, I think live Zoom is
really great. So we may do some more.
You'd like to do some more? How do the others feel?
Perhaps, yeah, like...
but not so that Gareth has to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every time.
A slightly more civilized time frame for Australia would be nice.
So we'll all get up at 3 o'clock in the morning next time, and you can have a normal time.
But I mean, are there any, I mean, obviously, like I mentioned the webinar video, but are there any other problems that you've had with the course, or suggestions that you've got at this stage that we could do to, you know, that we could do to improve things for you, I guess? No?
No, it's already, yeah, it's already very, no, I mean, the website itself is working perfectly fine.
Okay.
And no.
Yeah, I think I've got the rhythm of the course now. You know, initially it was kind of, well, what's all this then? But you know, as we've gone through, I think I've found a rhythm with it. So yeah, it's all
That's good. That's great. That's great.
And module 1 is always very scary because there's so many tasks, but now it's a much more sensible rhythm. There's 4 or 5 each time. Yeah, yeah.
I have to say, one of the things that I've started to do, for example, in module 5, sorry, let me start again. And sometimes I find that the tasks that you're set, you know, you're asked to sort of pick from a list of, say, distractors, pick 5 and comment on all 5. And there's 17 of you, and you're all going to pick 5. And it makes for an awful lot of, you know, repetition in the end.
Yes.
And so I think what I've wondered about, sometimes just when you've got a large number of you guys, course participants, we just, you know, perhaps make it 1 or 2 things. So I've started to change, you know, edit the site a little bit, and just to reduce sometimes the amount you're expected to do, just simply to avoid repetition really, and to try and make it so that you can get through all the tasks with enough time sort of by midweek to go back and start commenting on everybody else, you know, on each other's contributions.
That is a point.
Yeah, and it's also of reading as well, because if everybody writes about 5 things, you want to. There might be very interesting things, and you want to read that. And
undoubtedly,
17 times of 5 things, repetition plus time for reading.
Yeah.
In my case, this week, for example, I had exams with all my groups, so I've been, exams checking, and I started posting my comments on Wednesday, and I had like 80 messages to read in each part. So it was like, oh my god, and so
you can
off-putting.
You can subscribe, so it's every day you receive all the messages.
I do, and I receive them, but
I
I still have to read them.
Yeah. By the way, sorry, Gareth, you were saying something?
I was just going to say it's been test week for us as well, so yeah, it's a little crazy this week.
I can't remember if it's is it module 5 or module 6 that has a group task? We start group
maybe
task.
6.
Yeah, so that's something that when we open up, I think it's you, Olga. So there will be a group task. So that's quite a nice. So if you're interested in online training, I mean, this is also you're experiencing it, and it will help you sort of reflect on the role of group tasks.
Just to say as well, Vincent, in terms of these synchronous meetings, the reason that the course is designed to be asynchronous is for everybody's access, really, given that it's you're all in different parts of the world, and that's why we don't tend to do Zoom meetings like this, because as you can see, of 17 participants, we've only got 5, 6 of you.
I'm surprised.
How bad is my math? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also surprised by the number. I thought we would be more.
Yeah.
But
most Saturday as well, it might also be. Yeah.
Good.
Shopping day. Yeah.
Is today
going out,
What's that?
What we do now. More.
Yeah.
More.
Another cup of tea.
Yeah. Okay. So any other thoughts, questions, considerations, anything can help you? Welcome back, Abdulaziz. How do you say it? Yeah, Alan.
I'd like to say thank you to Olga first, because she sent me some reading list and found it really useful. Thank you very much. So I was wondering if we could have this co-reading list, for us to read about training and observation, things like that.
You mean for the whole course?
Yeah, for the whole course, or maybe some chapters from books that
I think what we all tend to do, and Stephanie's been really good at posting some links, is whenever we come across something that's really useful, then we post that link. Maybe if you're really, Vincent's put some really lovely
in the cafe.
Websites today in the cafe, but perhaps Alan, you might want to open up a cafe thread of useful reading lists, links, and then everybody can put stuff up whenever they see something that might be useful.
I might be wrong, but I think also I think there's also bibliography with each of the pre-module reading.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
So that will also, that's another way to slowly gather some of the best key texts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll look into it though.
Okay. Good. Right. Well, yeah, we can easily make that part of each module as well. Just reading lists. Yeah.
Just a very, very small suggestion. You're not going to have access to the site forever. Okay. So if you want to keep this reading list or anything else, just make sure that you save these things, or copy and paste the links or the bibliography or whatever somewhere in your course documents, so that you keep it after the course finishes.
Okay.
Great.
Brilliant. Well, it was very nice to meet you all.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much. You can go back to bed, Gareth.
Or you can go to bed if it's 11 p.m. for example.
Or surfing.
Yeah.
I mean, in Sydney.
Not much of a surfer, to
No.
be honest. I'm with the cups of tea.
Yeah.
Cheers, Andy.
Okay,
Right.
so we've saved the recording and then we'll put that up. So probably in the news forum. What do you think? Yeah. So that
Sure.
if you want to watch this again, watch yourself. And for the others as well. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with
Well,
us.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you
to
very
meet
much.
you. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All the
Okay.
best. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye for now. Yeah.